You guys have probably been told that student loans are like a £60,000 debt hanging around your neck that you'll be struggling to pay off the rest of your life. But what happens if I told you that treating it like normal debt is the fastest way to throw away thousands of pounds of your hard-earned money? Well, the UK government just quietly changed the rules, extending the loan write-off period to 40 years. This is no longer just a student loan, this is a lifelong tax. Well, in this video we are going to ignore these scary numbers. We're going to use internet gurus like Martin Lewis, who are the best of the best, to break down, is it actually worth paying off your student loans as fast as possible, or just paying them off in slow incremental amounts when you are forced to. So let's break it down. Rule number 1 is forget the word debt. Martin Lewis has been screaming this at the top of his lungs for years.
It's not debt!
But UK student loans act a lot more like a tax instead of a traditional loan. Think about it, if you have a loan to the bank and you lose your job, regardless of the fact you lost your job, the bank is still going to hunt you down to get their money back.
Police! Stop that thief!
However, with student finance, if you lose your job and you are below the income threshold, then you will pay zero towards your loan. Your student loan is actually automatically deducted from your income via something called PAYE. There's no debt collectors and it is done automatically without affecting your credit score. However, here is where it gets slightly complicated. The rules completely change depending on when you started university. And this is exactly where people get caught out. If you started uni between 2012 and July 2023, you're on a Plan 2 loan. In April 2026, Rachel Reeves' budget throws your repayment threshold at £29,385. You pay 9% of everything you earn above that. And the best part, the whole thing gets completely wiped out after 30 years, no matter how much you guys owe. However, if you guys are like myself and you've started university in September 2023 or later, including anyone this year, you are in a Plan 5 loan. And what that means is the maths is slightly more brutal. Your threshold is lower at £25,000, meaning that when you earn over this number of £25,000, you have officially begun to start paying off your student loan. The government also extended its clock and it doesn't get wiped out for 40 years. So now you guys know which plan of loan you guys have, but on to the big question. Should you pay it off as soon as you possibly can, or just pay the minimum required payments? Well, the interest on the loan is based on inflation, so it's typically around 3.2% per year. So your parents or your gut might be telling you, hey, I have some savings, let me pay off a chunk of this loan early to beat the interest. Well, according to moneysupermarket.com, and I actually agree with this, but they say do not pay it off just yet. The reason for this is scenario 1. You are a low to middle income earner. If you're expected to earn a normal, steady, gradual salary, say starting at £28,000 a year and peaking at around £45,000 a year, then the data shows you will never clear the full balance before the 30 to 40 years are up. So technically the debt after this time will be wiped clean, no matter how much you guys have paid off. So if you are making voluntary extra payments, you are literally throwing free money at the government. Scenario 2, which applies to myself and applies to maybe some of you watching the video, but if you guys want to work for yourself and not work up the career ladder, then if you're a smart businessman, you won't earn over £12,500. So you guys will never be over the income threshold to pay off your student loans. And because the interest is over only 3%, this money is better off staying in even a high yield bank account or any assets like the stock market, because it will way far out before the 3% your debt is going up every year. So I plan on making £12,500 a year and never paying off my student loan until my income by accidentally goes over this amount and it gets taken off automatically. But I'll never be throwing money away at this student loan. I'd rather gain a better interest in a bank or in any assets. The third scenario, which is the only one that actually suggests you do try pay off your student loan as fast as possible, is if you guys are the high flyers. So if you guys are thinking you're going to end university and go straight into a high tier software engineering, investment banking or corporate law job, and you're expected to earn 80,000 plus early on in your career, then and only then clearing the loan early can actually save you guys money on interest, and that's because you'll actually pay it off before the clock on that debt runs out. The bottom line is that student loans are not that scary and they actually act more like a tax. The interest isn't too high on them whatsoever, and if you should pay them off early is completely dependent on the person you guys are. If this video helped you guys whatsoever, I'd really appreciate a subscribe and maybe a like just to help boost that algorithm. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, make sure you put them in the comments and I will respond to them as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching.